Time for another edition of In the Mayor's Chair on CFAM Radio 950, and it is time for us to focus in on the town of Morris with Morris Mayor Scott Crick. And good morning to you there, Scott.
Good morning to you as well today, Chris. Another crisp Manitoba winter day.
That's a positive spin to put on it. Crisp indeed. Chilly for the next several days. And now last week during In the Mayor's Chair, we talked a little bit about kids in the kitchen. And you're telling me, Scott, that there might actually be a little bit of space still available.
Well, and considering yet again that we're having crisp winter weather, there may be families may be looking for things to do with the children and to get them out of the house a bit. So I have become aware that there are still spots available. Kids in the Kitchen will be taking place at the Multiplex on Tuesday evenings in March. So if you think you have a little person who you'd like to get them to learn how to cook and get them out of the house, certainly drop an email to recreation@townofmorris.ca, and I'm sure they'll be happy to accommodate.
It's one of the fastest growing sports in Canada and the United States. That would be pickleball. It's a sport that pretty much any age can take up, and you wanted to touch on that because it's an option in Morris.
Well, I know that for those who are into pickleball, they're certainly aware of the fact that there is drop-in pickleball that takes place at the Multiplex every week. But for those who've been curious about it and would be interested in playing, it's going to be taking place all through February, every Tuesday and Wednesday, except for February the 26th. It's only $3.50 to drop in. Equipment is provided. Again, a great reason to get out of the house and get active.
Now, we've spoken at length over the last few months about the ongoing supportive housing project that has been under development within the community. And you did want to touch on how there were a series of public meetings that were going to be held. Those meetings are now going to be rescheduled.
Yes, and it was very unfortunate, Chris. I know the committee met just before the meetings were supposed to take place to discuss some of the challenges. And unfortunately, and although we don't think about these things at the time, what's happening south of the border with the threat of potential tariffs and the threat of countervailing tariffs has thrown an economic curveball at the project and has created a wider variance of costs that would normally be expected on a project this size. And that's just unfortunate, and it's difficult because for all the contractors and all those who would be building the facility, there's just too much cost uncertainty for them to provide firm quotes, which therefore makes the project difficult to forecast in terms of a total cost. But I know the committee is fully committed to ensuring that this project moves forward. Obviously, we need some things in a bigger scale to somewhat level out and give some predictability to costs. And as soon as that's known, then certainly those meetings will be rescheduled. So please pay attention to the town's social media, and we'll ensure that that information gets out when it's available.
Scott Crick, he's the mayor of town of Morris, joining us today for In the Mayor's Chair on CFAM Radio 950. Of course, you can have another listen right now, in fact, on your Pembina Valley online app.